You must learn.
Ain't no half step on Marcus J. Live from the den. Legacy Internet Radio. You must learn. Yeah. Ain't no half step on Marcus J. Live from the den. Legacy Internet Radio. Thank you to those folks who are rocking with us, to those folks who have been listening to us throughout the night. You know, that last segment, we did a real dope segment. That was a clip from the TV show, Legacy TV, that we do right here at Comcast 95, as well as Verizon 36 right here in Richmond, Virginia. We also are airing it on YouTube. So thank you to those folks who may have seen it live. And if you didn't see it live, you heard the airing, so you have an idea of how we do it here on Legacy Media Group, which is home to Legacy Internet Radio and Legacy TV. I'm going to tell you something, big bro. Last Thursday, I was at the barbershop because I go there every 2 weeks.
Well, I don't.
My vanity allows me to go to the barbershop every 2 weeks. Now, you don't go to the barbershop because you don't need to, because you rock the Isaac Telly Savalas Hayes Michael Jordan
Keep your
type.
A sparrow.
Brother, that's Beretta.
I don't care. It was back there then.
That's Beretta, man.
What did Telly Savalas do?
That's Kojak. It ain't no words to that song, man.
Kojak ain't had no words?
No.
I remember listening.
But it was Kojak.
But he had a blow pop.
He had a blow pop, but here you go. You just
So is that really good if you got a blow pop and you're a dude?
So but seriously though, like I was trying to do the setup and then here you go. You know, you done got the listeners all messed up in the head. You know what I'm saying? This right here is what you was supposed to do. This. Yeah. That's Kojak. That's Kojak. Sounds like Kojak, right? Sounds like Kojak, right?
Sounds like Kojak.
Yeah. This what you did.
That sounds better though.
But it's not the same thing.
Yo, but it sounds better.
It's not the same.
But it sounds better. Yo, 804
Don't go to bed with no price on your head.
93.
No.
Yo, what's up, cuz?
Yeah.
What up, Keish? Yo.
This is the thing that you was doing.
If you can do the time.
Yeah. Here goes the part that you were singing. Keep your eyes on the sparrow. Here you go. That's how you doing it with you.
He gonna do that?
No.
Yo, come on, Al.
No.
Yo.
Oh, you know who that is singing?
Me. Got him.
Yeah, this is a goddamn moment, but Sammy Davis Jr., man.
That was you were right.
That's Sammy Davis Jr.
But you know that
Beretta.
Sammy Davis Jr. was the Rat Pack, yo. Hey, he won't no token dude neither.
Nah. He hang out. He hung out with his homies and whatnot.
His homies.
Yeah, with his homies. But anyway, ain't no hashtag March 804-402-2893. All right, listen. We're gonna be grown-ups real quick. It's hard for him. It ain't hard for me. It's hard for him.
It's hard for me.
But my new hero. Last Thursday, I was at the barbershop and I was minding my own business, getting my hair cut, falling asleep in the chair because I be busy. And it be sometimes the only time that I can get some rest. And as I'm sitting there, I hear this woman and she is outstanding. And when I say outstanding, she is my new hero. Her name is Angela Rye. And I want y'all to hear Angela Rye because she went all the way in. Listen to this clip. We're going to come back on the other side and talk about it.
I'm sick and tired of this White House, as I was sick and tired of the campaign treating people less than, whether they're different because they are black, or they're different because they crossed the border, or they're different because they worship a different God, or their God is known by a different name. I am tired of difference being disrespected and mistreated by this White House.
Okay, so let me move on.
Hey, Brooke, Angela, Angela, Brooke, Angela.
I'm not talking to bigots,
Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
I'm not talking to bigots.
No. Angela had me. I agreed with the first 30 seconds where she went off there. I agreed with everything she said.
Off.
Sean Spicer was a condescending jerk yesterday. But then Angela had to go to race. Why did it have anything to do with race? Angela, he has treated male white reporters horribly before too. What's the big deal?
Hold on, and why use the B word, Angela?
Because Joe is a bigot, and I'll give you an example of why. Since you brought up Twitter yesterday, here's Joe's tweet. And you're way wrong on your main point, Angela. We lowered the bar for Obama. He was held to a lower standard because he was black. That is Joe Walsh's tweet. You all decided to give Joe Walsh a platform today. I'm not giving him the time of day. I'm interested in having conversations, Brooke, that will move racial people of all races forward in this country. I'm interested in having a conversation that will help us to admit the wrongs that were done in this country and how we move forward. I am not interested in trying to convince and change the mind of a bigot, someone who will openly troll me and say things that are offensive that he knows are not true. It's very frustrating, and I'm tired of people telling me that black people are beneath a standard when we have to be twice as good all the time. And that is why I said I'm not interested in having a dialogue with someone like Joe, who has demonstrated a propensity towards bigotry. And he did that on Twitter yesterday in 140 characters or less.
Whew.
Hey, Brooke, I apologize, Brooke, that you invited a bigot on your show. Look, my disagreement with Angela had nothing to do.
Wait, are you now calling Angela?
No, he's a bigot. He's apologizing for himself.
No. I'm sorry that Angela feels like I'm a bigot, and I apologize that you invited me, a bigot, onto your show. I know you wouldn't do that knowingly.
Okay, I appreciate that. I don't need an apology. I brought you on because of this conversation that you all, that happened over Twitter. I'm just trying to understand. I wanted to understand where Angela was coming from her initial comment. I want to understand why you had such a problem with what Angela said, and you took to Twitter and you let everyone know about it. I want to understand what your issue is with that.
And Brooke, thanks. My disagreement had nothing to do with Trump. When Angela was making her case, she said that Barack Obama somehow had to live up to this perfect Jesus Christ standard that no other president had to live up to. My disagreement, Brooke, was about that, because I find that laughable. And it's got nothing, again, to do with race. Never in our country's history have we had a president so coddled and pampered and protected by the media like Barack Obama. That's not a high standard, Brooke. He was held to a very low standard because the media so loved him.
No, but did you or did you not say that you lowered the standard because he was black? Did you or did you not say that the standard was lowered because he was black? Did you or did you not say that?
Absolutely.
And that is what makes you a bigot,
Let me
Joe.
Answer.
No,
Angela,
but that's what makes you a
Angela,
bigot.
Can I answer?
Let me read the tweet. Let me read the tweet just to be precise on the language. You're way wrong on your main point, Angela. We lowered the bar for Obama. He was held to a lower standard because he was black. Who's the
and
we?
Who is we?
Yes.
Thank you.
Who's the we?
The we is
Joe?
all of us. The we, Brooke, is not. The we is the media. The we is white liberals. Barack Obama, I believe, Brooke, and you can disagree with me. Angela, are you going to let me speak or not?
Are you going to say something while your mouth is moving?
Yes.
Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
This is horrible.
I'm talking about all of us. It was a big deal. We elected our first black president. That was a big deal. And because of that, we lowered the standard. We did not criticize him like all of our other presidents. We didn't vet him like all of our other presidents. We were invested in that first black president succeeding. Now,
just as President Trump was elected.
I'm just telling you what I think. That's,
I'm sorry,
by the way,
where are Donald
that's
Trump's
racist.
Tax returns? What are you talking about?
I'm not defending Trump.
No,
Angela,
but the point is that Donald. So is Donald Trump's standard lower than Barack Obama's? Please tell me you see that.
Hey, you know what,
okay,
Angela?
well,
I think it's about the same. Barack Obama had no experience, and Donald Trump had no experience.
That is not true. Barack
Obama was a
constitutional law professor. Barack Obama was a state legislator. Barack Obama was a senator in the United States Senate. Barack
state
Obama,
senator in Illinois for 10 years?
I'm sorry,
We
and
elected a
he
state
actually served in
legislator?
Congress longer than you did, Joe.
He was a
So you might
United
not wanna
States
talk
senator,
about
guys.
lowering the bar. You did one term. So
He
I'm
got
just saying
elected-
you did one
he
term.
wasn't.
So I'm
No, he
just
wasn't.
you did one term. He
Angela.
served longer than
Angela,
you.
this
So
isn't
what kind of
about
bar?
me.
Oh, okay, but it's about you attacking black people for having lower standards. Really?
Why,
Come on,
can
man.
you, hey, Angela, can I not attack Barack Obama and not be a racist? Is that possible?
Did
Is
you
that
not
possible?
say that it was because
Okay.
he was black in the tweet? I didn't bring up race, Joe. This is all you. You went on
Okay.
Twitter yesterday and accused me of saying something I
Is it
didn't.
possible-
That you
is it
later had to
possible-
apologize for it. Did you or did you not apologize
Angela,
for
is it
misspeaking
possible
on
to
me?
attack Barack
Oh my gosh.
Obama and
Okay.
not be a
Ridiculous.
racist?
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't
We're
know
all
why you
talking
have a
over each
platform,
other.
but you don't
Sorry,
deserve
No
girl.
one can. No one can
You don't
understand
deserve
what
a
anyone's
platform.
saying. No one can understand. I think we heard from both of you. I'm just sorry. I had no idea it would go this way, but I do appreciate hearing two very different voices on something very, very important.
Thanks, Brooke.
Let's just please be respectful to one another. We can have different opinions, but let's respect one another. Angela and Joe, thank you both so much.
Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. As I listen to that segment there, I get a kick out of it because I remember when I was watching it live and I said to myself, she's giving this dude the business. Not only was she giving this dude the business, but she actually was legitimate. This is the same dude who during a joint what was it during the it wasn't the State of the Union, but it was a meeting where they had the Congress and the Senate and everybody was there. He screams out, "You lie." This is the same guy. For anybody who was wondering who that was, it's the same guy. And he also tweets the standard was lower for Barack Obama because he was a black president. Like he said it. Like he legitimately said it. So I want to talk about it. I want to get Joe's opinion about that. But before we do that, we got a new participant joining us here on the show. She's joining us. She joins us whenever she has an opportunity. My sister and yours, our clairvoyant medium, our sister Shayna Latia. What's up, Shayna?
Hi.
How you doing?
I feel great.
You feel good?
Yes.
Outstanding. It's
Yes.
good to see you. You good?
I just came from yoga. It was zen.
Shocker. Shocker, you just came from yoga. And whenever you just come from yoga, you have this soft-spoken nature about you when you just come from yoga.
That's because her mind is clear.
Her mind is clear.
Her body is detoxified.
Her spirit is
And she's always
calm.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Om is the natural sound of the universe.
Yeah,
Great.
Here we are trying to mess with you, and you just
She
went,
was in
just
it.
went
Oh,
with,
yo, she
just
got
went
it.
with it, right? Just go ahead and go with
I'm a
it.
yoga teacher. I love what I do.
I could dig it. Ain't no ass there on Market J. All right, Joe.
Yep.
You heard most of the exchange. You were in and out a little bit, talking to your folks on Facebook Live, as well as, of course, getting our sister Shayna in the building. So you heard parts of the exchange, but I think we got it properly set up. What's your thoughts, man? Angela Rye winning on Joe Walsh, man.
I love her. Yo, she's straight. Yo, let me
That's
tell you.
my girl.
Is that?
I love Angela Rye.
Yo, she went in.
The sister representing for the sisters up there, for the real sisters.
Well, she was representing for the people on this one.
She was representing for everybody.
Yeah, everybody who didn't fall in line with the BS that we got going on, she straight took
She
Joe.
does it to everybody though, and that's why I love her so much.
But it was real.
Well, Shayna, since you got the mic, tell us what your thoughts on Angela Rye. What's your thoughts?
I watched that segment. I actually posted that to my Instagram because I love her so much. When he said the only thing he could focus on was her wig, he was talking about Senator, what's her name? I can't think of her name right now.
Maxine Waters,
Yes.
Congresswoman.
Is that what
Waters.
we're talking about?
Well, it's the clip that, because I know you just came in as we were playing it,
Right.
and it was the clip where Angela Rye was debating Joe Walsh, who is a former congressman, and she talked to him about what is perceived as his racist tendencies, and This is a man who screamed "You lie" to the president of the United States during a session in Congress.
And she called him on it. She was like, yo, you giving Trump a pass on the things that he's done, but the president of the United States, because he honestly said that.
And then he said that we lowered the standards.
We lowered the standards.
Oh, yeah, I seen that.
So I'm like, yo, how did we lower the standards for the... And he said it clearly. We elected our first black president, and we lowered the standards.
Yeah, he said it with a straight face, and when questioned, he didn't retract the statement.
Well, I mean, at least he stood by his laurels. I mean, they were wrong, but
said what he meant.
He kept it real to himself.
After
yoga, I get a little hungry, so I have to eat a rice cake.
Eat the rice cake, okay.
For father. Yeah, okay. But anyway, but she came back and she clarified it because she was like, okay, so I'm not talking to a racist, period. That's what she said. I'm not going to talk to a racist. And you know what? I applaud the sister because she was gangster with her stuff. She was real.
So hood with it. I love
well,
her.
She's not
I wouldn't call it hood, though. I wouldn't say hood. That's
a very day. Yeah, let's not.
That's a loaded word.
No. Don't take it when I say hood because I teach hood yoga. I mean that she is so into who she is as a woman, as a person, as her being a person of color, as her being somebody who's expressive and not conforming to nobody else's ways, just her own.
Is that a new? That's a new way to talk about hood. Because when you say hood to me,
no, when I say hood, I don't necessarily mean gangbangers, gunshots, and that. I mean our culture, our music, our energy, like who we are. Like,
okay, I like that.
I'm not saying that is in a negative view.
I'm getting a hit from our brother Rizwan at a listening party. Legacy Internet Radio alumni. Appreciate you, brother.
What up, fam?
For checking in with us. He says that's the attitude that we should take. I'm not talking to no bigots. Talking is over what we need to reestablish an economy and social order for ourselves and stop seeking their approval and create a world of our own, one native village.
Peace.
Yo, say word.
Yeah, peace. I can't say nothing but yo, that's it.
But here's the deal, right? You know, when I was watching that clip, all I could come up with is an incredible sense of pride because I'm that dude that tells our people, black women, black men, when you're around white people, don't be talking like you don't talk normally.
You mean that step and
Don't change your rhetoric. Don't change how you are. Don't change anything. If you speak in a Ebonics dialect, then so be it. That's how you are. When you see white people, don't whisper white people. When you have black people around, don't whisper black people. Because the reality is, we are who we are, and we don't need to be kowtowing to nobody.
Oh, say that word again?
We don't need to kowtow to nobody. Okay? So this is important to me. So when I saw that, I was definitely impressed by her strength, by her rhetoric, by her power,
her demeanor,
her resolve, her delivery. You know what I'm saying?
Like
and the way that she came off was respectful, but firm. And it wasn't really much that he could say. This is a dude, real talk, who said that the standard was lowered when a black man was elected president. How you supposed to talk to this dude? Like, for real?
He lucky he didn't get. He real talk. She came way better than I would have. But she was way more articulate because I was going from a man's point of view.
But there's no win and there's no victory in vitriol.
I understand, and trust me, hey yo, but you know what I'm saying. You know that the very first thing we want to do is attack. We want to lash out, but we want to do it in a nasty kind of way because you feel hurt.
Yeah, but just because you hurt and you lash out, that's not productive. Because your message could potentially be lost because you have legitimate ammunition in what you're saying. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So if you lash out in anger and pettiness, you're not gonna necessarily.
You're gonna lose the fan base that you got.
So what you're saying is, if you'd have been like, oh, you know what I mean, Joe Walsh, you a punk, and I'm gonna knock you out for speaking that way. Because we all be like, man, if it was me and if I had a chance to get there and see him and say that, then I would have said X. No, you would not have been able to make your point as powerful as she did, because the truth of the matter is, your brain, man, your brain.
Let's be real. She still chopped him up.
Intellectually.
But she did. But you know what? But hold up, Marcus J. We did hear a little bit of that sass come out. We heard a little bit of that sister isms come out on it though, right?
But that's all right though.
No, but I'm saying she did it in such a you know who she reminds me of? She reminds me of Lil Sis, cause Lil Sis Kim, I'll give a shout out to my sis. She, she'll be very nice, nasty to you, and you don't even know you cut when you cut, and he didn't know what to say. He couldn't say nothing.
It was nothing.
He was cut.
It was nothing for him to say. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Den Legacy Internet Radio. We could stay on this one forever, but I want to move on to some other stuff. 804-402-2893 is the number to dial if you want to rock with us. I got Big Bro Joe and our sister Shayna here with me as we move on. Next thing I want to get to, we've talked about this a few times, but we've been given a different spin on a story that we've talked about a couple of times, okay? This one's about Colin Kaepernick, and there's been a whole lot of talk about Colin Kaepernick, but there was a comment that came out that's been coming out, and I want to get into this. I'm getting this one from MSN.com, but it's on the National Wire. Of course, we know Colin Kaepernick is the NFL player who decided he was not going to stand for the national anthem last year in protest of the treatment of black people and other minorities by the police in the country, okay? Mike Freeman of the Bleacher Report spoke with 7 anonymous NFL executives, and the consensus among them is that their teams would never sign Kaepernick in the wake of his national anthem protest. Quote, I don't want him anywhere near my team, one front office executive said. Quote, he's a traitor. He has no respect for our country, another exec told Freeman. Expletive, that guy. Each of the 7 execs said that he believes Kaepernick will never play in the NFL again if and when the 49ers cut the 28-year-old. I say that 3 times because he's 28. Wow. Taking a step further, one team official told Freeman he believes that 90 to 95% of the NFL front offices have blacklisted Kaepernick. The same exec said he cannot remember this much collective dislike in quotes, for a player since, and the name that I'm going to drop is going to piss off some folks. He has not seen collective dislike for a player since Ray Carruth, who was drafted by the Carolina Panthers in the 97 draft. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Carruth's story, the former star wide receiver remains in jail to this day after he was convicted of devising a plan to murder his pregnant girlfriend, and she died due to that murder.
I remember that.
That seems a bit harsh. Many people feel Kaepernick's decision to protest the national anthem is disrespectful, but he certainly doesn't deserve to be mentioned in the same name as Carruth. In any event, Kaepernick's poor performance on the field last season, his injury history, and current controversy surrounding him will likely turn teams off. If the majority of the league feels as strongly as executives Freeman who was interviewed, or this former NFL quarterback for that matter, Kaepernick's pro football days could be numbered. Shayna, jump in here. This dude was just compared to a guy who had his baby mama killed.
Oh my God. That's horrible for one. Colin Kaepernick is a special soul. Like, he's a very special person for standing up for what he believes in. And there's so many people sitting on that bench caring about money that didn't stand that really want to stand.
I mean, some people is punks. He want a punk.
I know, but it's so much deeper than that. For him to be blacklisted is ridiculous because he's a great player. Like, he's awesome.
I mean,
shout out to my pops. Pops J is checking us out. Pops J he's listening to us, and he heard the Angela Rye segment. He was like, "Yo, that sister, wow." Yeah, that's all it said. That's all he said. That sister, wow, and whatnot. And
well, so, we got another brother who's checking in.
She keeps me speechless as well.
Yeah, we got a couple of brothers checking in. Our boy, Big Jimmy. I ain't calling that, but Jimmy.
Oh, okay, Jimmy. Oh, okay. What's up, brother? Hey. Thank you, brother.
He know. Yo, I got another one, Miss Free. What up, baby? My sis Jackie and my boy who looked out for me, our cable tool looked out from a long distance away, Doug.
What's up, Doug?
He AF&M. He love us to death, though.
Peace
Take
to
care
him.
of your boy.
Peace to the brother.
Peace. Love you, bro. Yo, it's crazy, though. You got to think about Colin Kaepernick for a second. I'm going to do this. Yo, but I have not heard our phones ringing tonight, dude. So I got to guess. I need somebody to call in and give me your feelings on this. 804-402-2893. You're on with the flagship show of Legacy Internet Radio. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. You got your crew in here right now. You got your boy Big Bro Joe, Shayna Latier. Listen, let's go back to what we were saying.
What you think? What you think about this Kaepernick thing?
Yo, Kaepernick. Oh, I'm loving this dude.
But here's the specific angle that I want to take.
Okay,
because
take this angle.
we've talked about Kaepernick a lot on the show. What I don't want to do is rehash old stuff. The angle that I want to talk about is specifically what we talked about in this segment about how there are some NFL execs saying that they have not seen this kind of collective hatred since Ray Carruth. Ray Carruth murdered his baby mama because he ain't want to have no kid with her.
Ray was stupid, number one. Let's be clear. But you can never sit there and compare a grown man who has never. Okay, I'm about to get. Let me clear my throat. How in the hell are you gonna sit here and compare a brother to somebody else who has murdered somebody just because he decided that he wanted to be socially conscious enough and not stand for the national anthem? Yo, what's up, Facebook Live? I see y'all looking at us. Yo, I need somebody to give me a call and tell me 804-402-2893. Quit playing around and let's attack the real topic. This man was.
Well, Terry is saying I want you to address this.
Okay, Terry.
Because I want to kind of streamline the conversation with my sister. Cause she says those unnamed execs spoke behind their backs to compare Colin to a murderer is a far reach. To that you say what?
I say that. Yes, it's definitely a far reach, Terry, but you got to realize business is business. And what they're trying to do is separate people from business.
Ain't no half step on Marcus J. Live from the Den Legacy in their radio. We're getting a caller. Caller, what's your name? What's your comment?
My name is Barbara. Can you hear me?
I got you, Barbara.
Hey, Barbara.
How you doing, Barbara?
Okay, I think the attack on Colin is because he used to take these real sexy photos. He was not a socially conscious person. For a while there, he was known as a party animal, and everybody loved him then. But when he woke up and stopped putting himself in those positions where it looked like he was, just like a party animal, drinking, doing all of that, that really that cost people, I think that cost the teams, they perceived that it costed them money when he woke up like that. Because when he woke up, he woke all the way up.
All the way up.
No, I can dig it, Barbara. I think for me, my biggest deal with Colin Kaepernick and the negative response he's gotten is for those folks who have issues with him but never paid attention to the reason why he protested. I'm a black man, and as a black man, I know what it's like to be in the car and see those blue lights go after somebody else but think they for you.
And you sweat.
You think they for you even though you're not doing anything. And then when they drive past you, you tripping. You know what I'm saying? Colin Kaepernick was protesting for those kinds of people. And
right.
Nobody ever paid attention to why he did it. They only cared about the fact that he did it. What do you think about that?
Right. I hear what you're saying, but I'm saying that it's not just happening to Colin. Any athlete or anybody in the public eye that participates in coonery, there's no problem with the coonery. But as soon as you start going towards the law, changing the law, and how they use the law to subject us to unfair treatment, then all of a sudden you're unpatriotic, you're a thug, You're a problem.
Yep. You get no argument from me on that one.
And me neither.
Wow. You get no argument. I mean, that's the mic drop moment, Barbara, because the reality is, anytime you try to change the matrix, you become a problem.
And they try to rub you out, just like they're trying to do right now. Hey, Barbara, you know what? That is a beautiful point. We really, really appreciate it. If you got something else you want to get in on when you hear us, please give us a call back, all right?
Yes, thank you for having me. Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
love.
Thank you, Barbara. We appreciate you, sis. Ain't no hashtag on Marcus J live from the Dan Legacy and Radio, big bro.
Yo, Barbara just hit nails and drove nails home. She made a keyword and she said it. When they stop doing the coonery, and y'all in Facebook land see the air quotes, but you know what that means? That's bull.
She nailed it.
Coonery.
She absolutely nailed it.
When your coon spirit.
And Terry, as she's listening, is she said they speaking out of fear of a man who is able to mobilize the masses. This is the reason why they killed Tupac, for real.
Ooh, did you do that?
Yeah, I did that. I mean, you can chalk it up to street violence, but we can chalk up Malcolm X to street violence and Martin Luther King to street violence and all of that kind of stuff as well. So, the truth of the matter is, if you are someone who is trying to awaken the minds of like-minded minorities, the Matrix don't like that. And that makes you a problem.
Can I ask you a question?
Colin Kaepernick is a problem, not because he did anything criminal, not because he smacked his girlfriend around in the elevator, not because he ran a man over and killed him, not because he's done drug after drug after drug, not because he's been convicted of a felony. No, because he decided that he was going to protest the treatment of black people and other minorities in this country by not standing for the national anthem. That is the reason why he's become blacklisted, and that is the reason why he is hated as much as a man who had his baby mama murdered. You got to think about that. Let's think about that. Let's think about the fact that this man who has committed no crimes is as hated as a man who has sat in prison for the last 15 years for killing somebody. Let's think about that right now. Ain't no hashtag on Marcus J, live from the Dan Legacy and that radio, 804-402-2893. We can stay on that subject forever, but we're going to move on from it and get into some other stuff. Big Bro Joe.
Yep.
Man, this next one,
Wait a minute, hold up. Get your mind right.
yeah, I'm gonna get my mind right. This one is about an intruder who was shot dead in somebody else's home while taking a shower. A homeowner was arrested on second-degree murder charge after he allegedly gunned down an intruder who was showering in his home. Officials from Mason County Sheriff's Office in Washington State posted on Twitter that the homeowner had been cooperating with authorities after the incident at a home in East Trails Road in Belfair. Several hours later, authorities said the homeowner was arrested after shooting the intruder multiple times as he was in the shower. Lots of reactions to this arrest is what the apartment said. There's more to the story that cannot be released yet. You may reserve your judgment until the facts are out. The intruder was identified as Mason County resident Joseph Rosa of Bethel. The confrontation happened about 8 a.m. Saturday when an unidentified homeowner went to one of the homes on his property, where cops say he runs an internet-based firm out of the building. After noticing the front door kicked in and missing a window screen, the homeowner went inside and found the intruder in the shower. He then left the home after the pair exchanged words. Quote, he returned home, retrieved a firearm, came back over the residence, and fired multiple rounds into the shower, killing the intruder. It's unclear how long Rosa had been in the home, but detectives don't believe the homeowner gave him any warning before shooting. The homeowner called 911 dispatchers and told them he had killed someone and had broken into his home. Certainly, he had opportunity to call law enforcement at the time, is what the official said, and we've contacted our local prosecutor, explained the circumstances to him, and agreed the second-degree murder was an appropriate charge. That's enough. Shayna, you're up first. What's your thoughts on this case?
Wow. We do have the right to bear arms, but we do have a right to integrity. The guy was in the shower. Now, at that point, I would have called the law if I heard the shower going. But if somebody in my house, I'm upset that somebody broke in my house and I see them in the shower. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, so you want to break in my house? I'm going to go back to the car.
Gotcha.
Right. But I'm just saying, but I'm being a human being. Like, but at the end of the day, it's about integrity too. So the right thing to do is to call 911. But being the human that I am personally, you're just not gonna break in my stuff and take a shower.
Hey, listen, I'm about to get in on this because I got Jimmy's son in. He's saying, that's premeditated, guilty. I agree, hands down, no questions about it. First of all, there was no fear of life in this situation.
Right.
First of all, folks, let's be clear. If you do not know the law, quit trying to be a damn lawyer. Quit trying to think about stuff. First of all, he said that the door was kicked in and the window or the blind was tore down.
Yes.
Okay. Guess what? If someone kicks in your door and it was not his primary residence, it was a internet business hub where he worked out
that wasn't his house?
No, that was not his
It was a
specific
property.
house.
It was a property.
Oh,
right.
I thought it was his house.
No.
For me, and I'll tip my hand on my opinion
way,
without getting into it right now. I don't think that piece matters.
It matters.
I don't. I don't think it does.
It matters, bro.
I think it matters.
We'll finish your point.
Where you lay at is like.
Well, hold on, Shayna. Let him finish his point, then you jump in.
Well, I mean, I think I know where Marcus J is going, but I'm going to finish the point. The point of the matter is there was no fear for life. Because if you fear for your life and you had a verbal exchange, then that's the situation. If you had a gun, he had a gun, a knife, I don't give if he had a spit, if he was throwing spitballs at you, you could have shot him in self-defense there, and it would have been a dead and done deal. But what we have to realize is he left the house. So now it's premeditated. You're going to go back after you have a time to cool off and think about the situation instead of calling the law enforcement, the proper authorities, and following the chain of command to get this person out of your house. Once you initially instigated that situation and you backed out, then it's premeditated.
Well, yeah, I agree that he was in the wrong, but he exchanged words with the dude. Like, he could have said anything like, get out my house,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, something, this dude's still in the shower. So, I mean, I feel like he might have flipped the switch, got upset, got mad. Felt like, well, I thought it was his house. Well, felt like some random dude was in their property.
Okay.
But, either way, he's going to jail. That's wrong.
Here's my deal with it.
He's wrong.
Here's my deal with it. To me, it doesn't matter if it's his home. It doesn't matter if it's his work, his property, or whatever. The person who died was not a threat to anybody's life in that moment.
Right.
And the fact that you're in let's just say for argument's sake that this was his house. You're mad. You in your feelings about somebody being in your house, butt ass naked, taking a shower in your shit. Yeah, you mad. But you don't get to kill somebody because you mad.
Right.
You don't get to kill somebody who's not a threat to you, even if they in your shit.
You right.
So guess what? I'm okay with this dude being charged with whatever murder that the lawyers say that they should be charged with. Our brother Hakeem says that sounds like murder 1 to me. It's not murder 1. I would say it's probably murder 2, which is what he was charged with. Point well taken.
Wrong.
Our sister SY is checking us out, says yes, him being charged is definitely fair. His mistake among others was leaving and coming back with the firearm. Isn't that premeditated? Bye, man. That's actually a good point.
Now, let me ask a question.
That's actually a good point.
I need to ask a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, what if he walked in the house with the firearm already and someone was in the
Different
house?
story.
That's different.
Different
Okay.
story.
That's different.
Okay.
But the key word that you're saying,
That's a good point. Good question, Shayna.
SY sit there and said it. Hakeem said it. You don't think Marcus said that it's murder 1?
No, I stand corrected because I mean I'm okay with you. Some folks don't think that you should be able to change your
murder 1
murder 1 is premeditated. If you thought about it before you did it, that's murder 1. That's first degree murder.
So,
if something went down in this room right now, somebody came in here and I killed him in a crime of passion, that's either second degree or maybe even manslaughter.
Second degree is manslaughter.
Well, second, we can debate that piece.
No, we can't.
Second degree. Well,
I'm a criminal justice major. We can chop this up all day.
There wouldn't be a phrase called manslaughter if there wasn't a difference. But we don't have time to debate. We don't have time to debate that. We don't have time to debate that. What is unquestioned is first degree murder is premeditated murder, meaning that you thought about this before you did it.
And you bucked him.
And you still
stabbed
did
him,
it.
killed
and
him.
I think where this guy kind of loses...
He got murder too?
He was charged with murder too, which is a crime of passion.
But let me tell you why he was charged with murder too.
He was charged, but was he convicted?
Well,
Not
it just
yet.
happened.
Not yet.
He was just charged.
Let's be clear on why he was charged with murder too. Murder two is easier to prosecute.
Yeah.
If you sit there and say murder one, you got to prove that I had malice in my heart
Yeah, it's more.
and I intended when I saw you to take you out. Done and dead.
So he could have beat that charge.
This is the reason why,
could have beat it.
honestly,
Beat that charge.
and just for those folks who are listening who don't understand the differences, the way Joe just laid it out is perfect. And I'll give you an example. George Zimmerman, who murdered Trayvon Martin.
I can't understand.
Let me just,
hold on,
George,
breathe on
I'm going to break this down. I'm going to break this down
I
for you.
just
No, well,
can't.
listen, I'm going to break it down for you. George Zimmerman was charged with first degree murder.
convicted.
And it was not first degree murder because he didn't wake up that day and say, I'm going to kill Trayvon Martin.
Was it second? Oh, and that's how he got.
That's why because he was
Oh,
because the prosecutors
Calm down, breathe,
just listen,
sis.
yeah, just listen,
Sorry.
just no, just listen. This is what happened. He was overcharged, and you cannot prove that he woke up that day and said he was going to kill Trayvon Martin because he didn't.
And that's how he beat.
That's how he got off. You can't blame George
But
Zimmerman
but
for that.
who
You
charged-
can't-
but
it's the
what-
prosecutors.
So it was already rigged. That's the straight rig.
Wait a minute. Say
Well,
that again.
I don't want to go back to.
We're not
to
gonna go back to
That's
that. We're
not
not
why-
gonna- we're
That's
not
not why I brought that up. I didn't bring
But
that
he
up.
used that-
I didn't bring that up to go through the
I
whole
didn't even
Trayvon
know
Martin
that
thing.
part.
But that's the key. That's the key. That's the
I'm
reason
learning
why
so
you
much.
have to pay attention to way people are charged.
Yeah.
Because if
So
you
how
see
OJ get off?
Oh, OJ
well,
got off.
OJ got off because they
Love
couldn't
did
prove
it.
Because they couldn't prove
they
it.
couldn't prove that he did it.
They got OJ on the. Oh, let's be real. They got OJ on the back end because he was stupid.
Yeah, well,
so we
I
gonna
mean,
go past that too.
No, I'm
Again,
talking about the murder charge.
Okay,
Let's go past that
again,
one.
we-
I'm
I don't-
sorry.
We'll talk about that one later.
The thing with OJ is, again, the prosecution, they charged him right. They just didn't prove their
They
case.
couldn't.
They just didn't prove their
Oh,
case.
so they charged him right.
They absolutely charged him
so
right.
murder one was the charge.
In that case, it was absolutely the correct charge. They just didn't prove it.
I don't know if that was still. But we can debate that too
Yeah,
later
we can-
on.
we can debate that
but
another time,
for
yeah.
this situation, when he confronted the dude who was in his shower, if the dude would have lunged at him with a loofah
We might be having a different conversation.
and he would have shot him right then,
well, why he just ain't say
We might be having a different
This is a
conversation
whole
now.
different
Since we on
conversation.
this kind of since we in this kind of
he attacked me.
Well, since we in this kind of story, right? The next thing that I want to get to, actually, hold on, before I do that, we got a comment here. Let's see. Terry says a couple of comments here. Bear with me, y'all, because I got to read through some of these things. Terry goes back to Colin Kaepernick. What's next? Who's going to stand or kneel for Colin? Obviously, we are. She says a homeowner might have said, "I'll give you 10 minutes to leave, dude. Finish the shower." Might has, could have.
Would'ves, it don't make no difference.
We can't do nothing with
Hearsay.
that. Hakeem said, "My daughter just walked in and heard us." She said, "You know, I'm your number one fan." Say word. Thank you, Hakeem. And tell your daughter that we love her as much as we love you.
Peace, sis.
Hakeem says the premeditated, bruh. He walked home, got the gun, shot him. Totally agree with you. You're not gonna get no disagreement from me. Hakeem continues. He's agreeing with us, but that's why prosecution seeks lesser charge, because it's easier to prove that than a higher charge. Sometimes the decision is strategic. We made that point before we saw his comment.
Yeah.
So we got you on that, Hakeem.
All day.
Terry says, so why buy a gun if the intention of the purchase to protect yourself? Then there can be underlying intent is to harm or even to kill. Not real sure that I agree with that. You buy your gun to protect yourself. Can I address that? Yourself and your property, please do.
Let me address that real quick. You notice what was being said. You purchase a weapon to protect you and your family at the time. Property is not, I'm going to tell y'all right now, property will never ever get you off on a murder charge if you saying you protecting property. If you believe that, I got a bridge in Brooklyn or in Jersey or in Southeast DC that I can sell you right now.
You don't get to kill somebody
You don't
because
get to
they
kill somebody
stole
for
your
property.
stuff.
Because if they run it out of your house and you shoot them in the back, guess what you got?
A murder charge.
Time. Yeah. So, sister, when you made that point, you got to remember, you have to think of it. It's called immediate threat.
Imminent danger.
Imminent danger.
So they have to come in with guns and stuff.
Not necessarily guns, though. They don't have to be guns.
They have
you
to
just
come
have
in.
to. You just have to fear for your life. Like the reason why George Zimmerman got off, and I'm using that because this is a case that we know. Let's take the emotion of the. Let's take the emotion of the Trayvon Martin thing out of it for just a minute to make the point that George Zimmerman feared for his life, which is the reason why Stand Your Ground exists. If you fear for your life, you have the right to kill, which is also the reason why police officers get off.
But it's not called, but see, once again, it's not called killing. It's not killing.
It's defending yourself.
It's called stopping
the threat.
Yeah,
but stopping the threat often means killing.
But see, no, because if you testify that you want to kill that person.
Well, you can't say that.
Well,
if you got a decent lawyer, you're not going to say that.
But I'm telling you, but some stupid people, but you know what? The general public believes that killing is the same thing as stopping a threat.
Which is the reason why the dude died in the shower.
Exactly. We have folks, we got to go back and learn the laws. If you want to purchase a handgun and you need, or any type of weapon, and you want to be savvy on what you got going, and you need to understand how to testify, because if you shoot somebody,
you better be able to. You better be able to
be with.
I mean, that's one of the things that they teach you. You know, I mean, I was one who was very adverse to guns, and I evolved to being someone who is pro-gun. Concealed carry license and all of that kind of stuff. And one of the things that you have to get in your mind and be ready to deal with is the knowledge that if you shoot or maim or hurt or kill a person, you better be able to defend yourself. It's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of money. It's going to take a lawyer. And that's just something that you're going to have to be aware of. I got one more case that I want to get into before we close it out. It's similar. So if you want to go backwards to this case and make that comment,
okay,
then we can do that. But I just want to apply one more case to this. This is the last case before we take the final break of the night, Joe and Shayna. But this one is about the case in Oklahoma. This was a grandfather of one of the teens that was killed in an Oklahoma burglary that says the homeowner's AR-15 made it an unfair fight. Now, to back up, there were 3 teen suspects that were shot and killed during an attempted home burglary in Oklahoma last week. Now, the grandfather of one of the suspects says, quote, the fight was unfair, unquote, because the homeowner's son killed the trio with an AR-15. For those folks who don't know what that is, it's an automatic weapon. It's, to simplify it, machine gun. It's a machine gun.
It's an assault rifle.
I mean, we say assault rifle if we know the terms. Okay, fine, fair enough. For those folks who don't know the terms, it's a machine gun. It's a machine gun.
Semi-automatic.
As reported by the news station in Tulsa, Leroy Schumacher is the grandfather of 17-year-old Jacob Redfern. He said that the teens were behaving stupidly, but they didn't deserve to die for it. What the 3 boys did was stupid. They knew they could be punished for it, but they did not deserve to die. Brass knuckles against an AR-15, come on. Who was afraid for their life? Sheriff's deputies believe the shooting was in self-defense. Schumacher disagrees. Quote, there's got to be a limit to that self-defense law. He shot all 3 of them. There was no need for that. The other suspects, of course, was a 16-year-old and a 19-year-old. These boys' families are going to suffer the rest of their lives. We have to live with the rest of their lives. The past is history, but you can damn sure learn from it. Maybe some kids will learn from it. CNN reported the homeowner's 23-year-old son fired the fatal shots against the intruders, one of whom was armed with a knife, while one carried brass knuckles. The sheriff's department, Nick Mahoney, told reporters, quote, preliminary investigation looks like self-defense. There was a short exchange of words, then gunfire happened. The driver of the getaway car was a 21-year-old female arrested on 3 counts of first-degree murder herself and 3 counts of first-degree burglary. First-degree murder occurs if any person that takes a life or the life of a human being during first-degree burglary. Another condition is if a person causes the death of another person with malice afterthought. Translation, if you committing the crime and somebody dies, you get the time, okay? So, Shayna, you up first. You hear the case with your thoughts.
Oh, my God. I didn't even know all that information. So, the girl was there robbing with them.
She was the getaway driver.
And oh, my gosh. So, she's just sitting in the car. So, now she's charged with murder and everything.
Yes.
Wow. I just didn't work. I didn't know it worked that way. Okay, well. At this case right here, someone's breaking into my house late night and I have my AR-15 by my bed and I hear a noise and I see 3 people come into my home, I don't know. I have kids. I'm ready to protect myself. I'm blasting off. I personally have an AR-15. I have 3 guns. I know how to shoot. I've been shooting since I was 8.
Don't tell everybody how many weapons you got.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I just want you to
For
know,
your own safety.
Yeah, for your own safety.
Well, my dad was a sharpshooter, and
Too much information.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
You're talking too much.
I was
Yeah,
You talking
I
too
mean,
much.
I have a lot of dead spirits on my side too, so I'm good.
Well, they should be telling you to stop
Yeah,
talking.
hush.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any shame in it. There's
I got you.
nothing with
I'm
me.
messing with you, but yeah, I got you.
have no shame. I'm pretty much cool. But anyway, like I said, like I feel really bad for the teens that died, but that was a stupid decision. And you breaking into somebody's house late night, you don't know what.
Why you feel bad for them, sis?
Like, because they were children. Like,
What?
they didn't know any better.
Oh,
like,
bull.
I'm sorry.
Bulloney.
I'm gonna let you go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just have compassion, even for people who do wrong. I do.
It's
But
not a good.
That's my thing. That's who I am.
Well, let me ask you a question. If you and folks,
But if it was me and my kids, somebody breaking in my house, I'm blasting off straight up. So it don't matter how old they are.
yo, you listen to what they sit there and say. They said that one teen had a set of brass knuckles. The other teen had a knife. The other teen was in the car as a getaway driver who already had 2 counts of murder. And you looking at me when you break into my home and I have an AR-15, they saying excessive force. Ladies and gentlemen, let's be clear. Let's be very, very clear. Any soldier I know, yo, shout outs to my fam sitting on here, Jimmy, yo, my boy JD, yo, said checking in on us.
What up, bruh?
Live action captions, one of the sponsors here at Legacy Internet Radio. Just want to sit there and say, let me tell you something. If you break into my home and you are trying to commit bodily harm to me, people don't realize I was trained that a knife can kill you in a certain parameter quicker than somebody with a gun, because you can't draw that weapon fast enough in order to protect yourself from that knife fight. You also have to remember this. The grandfather who sit there and said that it was excessive, first of all, you should have taught your dumbass grandson and his daughters not to come breaking in my house, because I'm going to tell you now, and I ain't talking too much, this is real talk. If you wanted to play tiddlywinks, stay your hind parts outside my house and don't come in it. If you come in my home and I feel threatened, I'm going to take care and stop the threat. I get real agitated with these folks who want to get mad and want to carry a banner for somebody who does something stupid. Then they get their life taken because they did something stupid. Come on, man.
Here's my thoughts on it, right? These 2 cases are completely different. I put them up together and I brought them up together because I thought that they were similar, but they're completely different.
They're different.
One case is you got a person that's in the shower, and then obviously we don't know all the details of each of them. We might listen to the case if we were the jury, and we might completely be different than how we would be if we were not just reading the news articles. So let's be clear about that. We realize that we're just reading the news articles and we're getting the information from the news articles, and that information may be minimal. We realize that. That's what we do on What the Hell. We just get a little piece of it, and then we have the discussion that you would have in the backyard or the barbershop or the beauty salon. Having said that, if I roll up on you in the shower, even if you in my house, and I blast you, yeah, I think your ass should go to jail for that. Because I never seen a naked person with soapy balls that was a threat.
Hey, a loofah is dangerous.
I just never seen soapy balls a threat. I'm just being real, right? Whereas if you roll up in my house and I don't know what you got, and you've awakened me, or I got my family there, my child, my children, or whatever, and you roll up in, and I got an AR, and we have words. I mean, yeah, you might have to catch some hot ones, and if those hot ones end up being, fatal. I mean, I know me well enough to know that I'm going to have a problem with knowing that I took somebody's life, but I carry a pistol. You know what I'm saying? So I've already dealt with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've already dealt with knowing that if it goes down one day, it's just going to have to go down one day, and I have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? And if you come up in the crib at night or at day or whatever time of day and you are posing a threat to me, then you got to go. Yeah. Because it's either you or me.
And see, you know what? I'm glad you made that statement because a lot of folks are sitting there looking at this. If it's me or you got him.
What's your phrase, 6 or 12?
Yo, you know me. You better be carried by 6 than judged by 12.
There it is. There it is. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. Terry says, I repeat, if you don't want to get shot, don't go into other people's property.
Say it again, Straight Terry.
Up.
Hey, my sister cuz got the final word. Say it again. If you don't want to get shot, don't go into other people's property, Shana. That's what she said.
Straight up.
You agree with her?
Straight up.
I agree with it too. Ain't no how to stay with Marcus J. Live from Dan Legacy in the radio. We're going to take our final break of the night. Damn it, it's that part of the show we got to leave. Shit.
Really? We got to go?
Yeah. We're going to take our final break of the night. When we come back, we're going to have our rants. We're going to have our closings. If you've looked at your calendar today, then you know what tomorrow is. That is your hint for what the history moment is. I got my sister Shayna Latia and my big bro Joe. Yours truly, I'm Marcus J. It's my name on the show. Ain't no half stepping with me. We be back in a few, y'all. Stay with us.
What up, everybody? It's your girl Jody Smith, JMM Jody Music Mixtape. It's a classic. Get at my dude Marcus J on Legacy Internet Radio. Ain't no half stepping. Get your own JMM mixtape. Hit me up. Jody Smith on Facebook, Jody Music, Jody Music, or you can hit me up on Instagram or Twitter. They're both Jody_804. Get at me on YouTube. That's Jody the Artist. Check out some of my footage, some of my videos. You can listen in on SoundCloud, Jody Smith Music, or just give me a call at 1-262-JODY-804. That's 1-262-JODY-804.